sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Now it's Cardinal.
And Miguel.
Man, oh man.
We're on the record.
How long has it been?
Was it before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was before the Super Bowl.
Or the Super Bowl. Yeah.
So yeah, we back. We back.
It was good, man.
Your boys are back.
It was good to be in front of the mic again.
Yeah.
Or behind the mic. However you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Man.
We've texted about a plethora of subjects.
A lot of good stuff for you.
Which one we want to kick off first, man?
Y'all want to hit the list, then the draft?
Yeah,
let's go for it. Y'all got a list, man. Y'all go run the list, man. What we got?
So I think first up, we had Cam. I think Cam Newton. God.
You brought that. You brought up that subject, and
you brought this
because of the kid.
Mm-hmm. So the question is Cam Newton a draft bust? I'll let y'all go first.
Is he a draft bust? Oh man, I wouldn't go that far because he had some pretty productive years when he was in Carolina. But to that point, a lot of people knew his style of play wouldn't have him lasting long. Mm-hmm. And it was evident his latter years in Carolina when he had the injuries. That kind of play is not sustainable in the NFL where you have players 250, 265 pounds running a 4.4 and a 4.3 coming full speed at you. That type of style is not sustainable, but I wouldn't call him a bust. He's not a bust. He had some productive years, but once he got to New England, I already knew he didn't fit that scheme.
I think he came into the league like 7 or 8 years too early. Because now you got 215-pound linebackers. When he came into the league, linebackers were still 250, 260, 265.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
All right. I'm going to give you my take. No, he's not a draft bust. I'm just, look at the stats.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive Player of the Year 2015. MVP 2015. Every year he was on that team when he was drafted the number 1 overall pick of the 2011 draft. The Carolina Panthers were not contenders, but in contention for playoffs. And he led a team to the Super Bowl. They got mollywopped by my team, but that's either here nor there.
You digress.
I digress. I have issues with Cam. The main issue I have with Cam was always been his throwing motion, because I just thought he threw too hard. Even though I think he has a powerful arm, he just threw too hard, and eventually he threw out his shoulder. But all the rushing touchdowns, and then also my other problem with him is that he never completed over 60%. Now, a lot of this I blame on Ron Rivera, because for the majority of this young man's career, you gave him crap at offensive coordinator. It wasn't towards the end that you gave him North Turner, but by then he was shot. So yes, and he is the first pick in a loaded 2011 draft that is filled with at least 5 Hall of Famers.
I give you that.
I'm right along those same lines as y'all. I wouldn't dare call him a bust. Because he's in my eyes. Sean, you got something?
Well, go ahead, B, because I want to touch on you something you said earlier. Go ahead, B.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. To me, he's anything but a bust because if you look at the quarterbacks that have gone number one overall, how many have sniffed a Super Bowl? Not been, but even sniffed a Super Bowl.
Since when? How far are we going?
Just in general, like the last 10 years, since Cam has been in the league.
Matt Stafford, number one overall. I think 2007, nothing.
Right. And then I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Cam and Jared Goff are the only ones.
That's about right, man. I'll give you that one. Based on that's what I'm thinking. That's about right.
Yeah, because Webster was 19. 18 was Baker, and they just got the playoff now.
Right.
I don't know who's 17. Who's number 117?
That was. Let's see.
But B, you brought up a good point, man, when you said earlier that he came in the league like 6, 7 years too late, based on, you said, the size of linebackers.
Right.
And when you said that, you got a good point, man. You got linebackers like Devin White running a 4.3 and still like 215, 225.
Roquan Smith, yeah.
Darius Leonard played Mike linebacker at 215 last year.
So that tells you, B, how the game has changed since Cam been in the league.
Yeah. But yeah, I was right there with Kennedy. Like, dude's got 3 Pro Bowls, 1 first team All-Pro, league MVP, a Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, his playoff record could be better. He's 3-7 in the playoffs, right? But he has that Super Bowl appearance. And his whole career, his top target was Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that being said, we all come to a consensus he's not a bust. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think of New England spending all that money right now, trying to get him weapons?
I wouldn't say spend. I'd say wasting.
I don't think they're spending it on him. I believe that I think they just signed him for him to be a bridge. I think they might be going up to get Trey Lance, or they might settle on Mac Jones.
I'm thinking Mac Jones, but because when they started spending all this money, my question was, I'm like, are they doing this to fit this team around Cam's skill set? And also, it was a COVID year. He didn't get that many reps with the team.
True.
To be honest, I think their best signing was Matt Judon.
Yeah,
I think because Judon, even though he had a down year last year with Baltimore, he's still young enough and talented enough for Bill Belichick to get the goods out of him, to get him back to where to that level that he was at and maybe beyond.
Right.
And then also, I think they spent the money. Just me being me, I think they spent the money to be relevant because the Bills are now kings of the hill,
right?
And Miami's like right there, and you don't want to be in the Jet territory, so you want to be relevant because it's really, it's only 4 teams in each division, and if you're the third team, when you're the 1 and 2 are younger and maybe superior, then you're essentially last. It doesn't matter if you're third or fourth.
Sean, you asked if they made those signings to help Cam. If you were helping Cam, you would get him receivers that can actually get open on their own. Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. This is what you give this guy. I get the Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, if he can stay healthy, but he still has no one on the outside.
But you know they re-signed James White, the running back.
Yeah, they re-signed him, and they have what is his name? Nikhil, the dude that was already there.
Yeah.
Harry, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's okay, but again, Cam goes into a season. Well, we don't know what they're gonna do in the draft, but Cam goes into another season as it is right now, as the roster stands right now. He goes into another season without a number 1 wide receiver.
They got Edelman.
He goes into another season without a number one wide receiver.
He's Edelman's a slot, man. But I get what you're saying, B. But I'm just curious. This will be Cam Newton's second season with this offense, and hopefully he may be better if they get some OTAs and get some reps in before the first preseason game. So
no. This is just me. His good days are behind him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
And I mean, it's nothing against him. It's just father time.
And
with your playing style coupled with father time.
And that's the point where people were talking about he's a bust versus you have to look at a quarterback's age. Same thing Aaron Rodgers is going through right now. At some point, if you were the GM of a franchise, if you had your quarterback for 13, 14 years, you have to start looking down the line and say, hey, look, I know he can't play at the same level. We have to bring someone in, let them sit for 2 or 3 years, learn the offense, have a good mentor.
Right.
But
and that's the problem.
I don't think Cam's a good mentor. But then again, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a good mentor either.
No, he's not.
Oh man,
his people skills suck.
Yeah, because I don't think he learned from Brett Favre, who wasn't a good mentor either.
Right.
Yeah, y'all dropping some bombs in that, ain't you, boy?
And the problem I have with Aaron Rodgers asking for, some reassurance from the front. Why would they give you? Why would they commit to you for, this many years? I mean, you're not exactly Tom Brady. Yeah, you've got a Super Bowl, but you really haven't sniffed one since then. So I don't, why not just let your franchise draft a guy and you be the bigger person and mentor? But like Kennedy just said, he's not a good mentor.
No, because alphas can't mentor. I don't think Peyton was ever a good mentor to anybody. I don't think Tom Brady was ever a good mentor. We've heard the stories about Steve Young and Joe Montana. So no, mentors are a Ryan Fitzpatrick, a Chase Daniels, Nick Foles, those type of dudes.
Right. Kobe,
Alex
Jordan.
Smith.
Yeah. Kobe and Jordan didn't become good mentors until they left.
And I still don't think Jordan is a good mentor.
Well, he ain't sure ain't a good owner.
I've heard stories about Kobe, about him mentoring. I've still never heard anybody say, "Yeah, I was working out with Michael," or "I got advice from." I've never heard that.
I'll say this. Michael has done a good job allowing Amazon to put his documentaries on Prime for my son to watch. I'll say it like that.
I'm gonna say this, man. In Cam's situation too, you got to think a lot of older players, especially at the quarterback position, they've always been the leader of the team. That's the highest paid position. They're always going to think they're prima donnas. They're always going to think that they normally can play forever. And when they draft someone or there's a rumor of someone coming in trying to take their spot, there's going to be some problems.
Right.
That's just like you on the job. They hire someone younger than you that acts like they know more than you to come take your job. Wouldn't you fight for it?
Yeah. Let's be for real.
Absolutely.
If you look back at Brett Favre before they drafted Aaron Rodgers, his numbers weren't the greatest. Right. When Aaron Rodgers came, he was a little bit more consistent. Aaron Rodgers, Love comes in, he wins MVP with nothing. Besides Devontae Adams, really nothing around him. And he wins MVP. It motivates you. But the mentor, what the kids can do is just see how he goes about his day, see how he trains, see how he studies, see how he goes through his progressions.
And the same thing for Cam. And I'm thinking that the Patriots want to draft a quarterback. And to you guys, what you just said, I think that might make Cam elevate his game because he doesn't want to lose his spot. That could be possible. So K man,
It could be competition.
Look, we won't use the word mentoring, B-Wig, K-Man. We'll use the word K-Man, just use motivation.
Yeah.
Let's use that M word.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
What we got next, B?
Moving on, one J.J. Watt got released by the Texans, signed with the Arizona.
Hold on, he didn't get released. He requested a release.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately they cut him. So. But yeah, he signs with the Cardinals. Very, very interesting move, considering his explanation for signing there.
What was his explanation?
B-Wig, I'm gonna tell you, you're encroaching on the other topic that we text about it later. QB empowerment. Should we call it player empowerment? Saying that they're getting like the NBA, K-Man. I don't want to play. I want to play here.
I mean, if you're a free agent, a real free agent, you can go wherever you want. Right. Ever you want. You can go in. It's America.
Now,
wherever you want.
The empowerment part of this would be him going to ownership, be like, look, I don't want to play here no more. Cut me so I can go somewhere else where I want to play.
Get me away from Jack Easterly, please.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't you think those conversations were had, B? Don't you think they would talk to J.J. Watt and say, hey, man, look, how do you feel about the organization and direction?
No.
No.
So that front office is like that.
That front office has given me no indicator that they care about the interest of their players concerning the direction of the team. Because if that was the case, Bill O'Brien would have been fired 5 years ago.
Jack Easterly would have been fired 3 years ago. And they would have a better structure at front office and coaching staff.
We were texting about, even before J.J. Watt said, release me, let me go, something was going on with the Deshaun Watson stuff. You know, something was going on. You trade Hopkins. Something was going on within that organization, man. You guys pointed it out. You know, kudos to both of y'all because y'all was calling it.
Well, it was more so Kennedy because he had the inside scoop on Bill O'Brien years ago.
It wasn't
even before we got a podcast.
It wasn't an inside scoop. It's just I see these things, and I see things where they don't fit. And I remember when he went to Penn State, and this is right after the Paterno thing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he was only there for 2 years, mind you. College, when you become a head coach in college, you still stay there for like 3-4 years. And he immediately left. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I see what he's doing. And he wasn't even really good at Penn State. Now the program was super down and money was taken out and players left and everything like that. But for him to get a head coaching job, and then I saw him and I'm just like, one day I was just like, him and Jay Gruden are frauds. I just said to myself, him and Jay Gruden are frauds. And then I threw in, what's the one for the Jets?
Adam Gase?
Yeah, I knew he was a fraud because he was our offensive coordinator in 2014 and 13.
Okay. Let me ask both of y'all this one then. If you guys think that ownership would have gotten rid of Bill O'Brien, say 3 years ago, do you think they would have reached out to like Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt, because those are the kind of two leaders, were the leaders of that team? Do you think if they would have reached out to them 2-3 years earlier, the team would be in a different situation or a different state?
No. Because the one common denominator here is ownership.
Yeah. Yeah. But anybody with the last name McNair.
Right.
It could be Kyle or the father who's deceased now. But they weren't good human beings. I mean, they weren't good human beings. I'm not going to hold my tongue. They're not good human beings. And they don't, and those type of people usually stink in management.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, Kim, man, I Googled when you all first started talking about it, I Googled at least a dozen articles, man, about the McNair family and how they viewed certain people And I was like, wow. I'm like, how did they get a club? And of course, people kept alluding to the good old boys, the good old boy club. And I was like, oh, okay. I got you. But players like J.J. Watt, I think they're done with ownership like that, trying to, force them to do things. A lot of players now are going to start taking things into their own hands, just like the players in the NBA.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like a trickle down thing now. You're going to see it more in the NFL.
Yeah, but the players can only go but so far because they keep negotiating these whack deals on behalf of themselves.
Yeah, they're screwed for another 10 years. They signed a really bad deal. And then knowing they had the leverage because the NFL wanted to get it done, because they wanted to go into negotiations with the TV networks,
right,
to say, hey, we are fully locked in for the next 10 years. And they did that. And they doubled their rate to the point of which they're getting $110 billion.
I know, right?
Let me say this again. $110 billion over 11 years. While these players keep, having to, restructure deals to fit this arbitrary salary cap that they keep coming up with based off of, I don't know what metrics they're using.
That's a good point. So, K-Man, what you just said, man, my question to y'all, what K-Man just said, shouldn't J.J. Watt should have stayed another year because next year the cap is going to be more, he could possibly get more money?
No,
because look, I questioned his move, his decision to sign in Arizona, but I believe that J.J. Watt really and truly wants to win a championship. He wants to win an NFL championship. He wants to win a Super Bowl before he retires.
Right.
And let's be honest, we like to think that we have our finger on the pulse of a certain team year in and year out. But the last few years, you're seeing different teams with good coaching,
right,
and good quarterback make jumps. This past season, Baker Mayfield led his team almost to an AFC championship game.
Mm.
So, I feel like
Josh Allen did lead his team to an AFC championship game.
Yeah, exactly. And so while Arizona may not have lived up to what we wanted them to be this past season, realistically,
they were what I thought they were.
Look, realistically, they could take a leap this upcoming season. We don't know that because Cliff Kingsbury is still unproven. But I kind of like what they've done in free agency. Yeah. Number one, getting AJ Green to pair with DeAndre Hopkins. So, who's to say they won't make a jump?
Ooh. 2 possession receivers. Ooh.
Hey, call Nuke what you want, but Nuke gonna go get the ball.
And look, y'all see how Murray can sling that joint down the field, man. So
I just think that if J.J. Watt wanted to win or compete for a Super Bowl, there were other options.
Of course.
Of course. Were better, or let me phrase it, better options in Green Bay and Cleveland. And J.J. Watt had to leave. And it's mainly had to leave because he is Old Yeller. Because 2 years from now, we're going to take him in the back and we're going to shoot him because he's done.
He's not done. He's done being elite.
Yes.
He's done being elite. He's still a good player that's better than half the dudes at his position.
Man, it's just like B-Way said, he's still a good player. He's always a threat to come off the end. And in certain defenses, that's all you need is to be a threat.
He's
which
also
can open up other plays for the other defensive people.
And you put him opposite Chandler Jones.
Yeah, that's a lot of sacks.
Yeah, it could be a good thing, or it could be him on a cart getting rolled off.
And then look,
getting examined.
Look, you also have to look at the offensive lines in each one. at the teams in their division. The Rams offensive line, Seattle offensive line was not good. San Francisco's offensive line wasn't really good.
Hey, 49ers, when they're healthy, 49ers got a good offensive line.
When healthy, yeah.
They got
but look at if he'd have went to Cleveland. The Ravens offensive line is okay. The Steelers offensive line is and the Bengals offensive line is trash.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, the reason J.J. Watt did not go to Green Bay or Cleveland is too cold. Even though he's from Wisconsin.
He's from Wisconsin.
But he's been acclimated to Houston, so that's why he went to the left to Arizona.
But he lives in Houston.
I think he chose not to go to Cleveland because he doesn't want to play his brother 2 times a year. He doesn't want to play against his brother.
Well, one of them plays fullback, yeah.
Well,
but look, here's my thing, and I'll leave it at.
I understand it because that's why Peyton didn't want to go to the NFC.
Yeah, I'll say this and I'll leave it at this. You remember how many years ago was it? That was two years ago? No, 3 years ago. San Francisco made the jump from what were they, 4-12?
Yeah.
To a Super Bowl next year. 4-12, 5-11, one of them. But they went to
Oh no, a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Like 3 years, I think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They made the jump. Arizona, they're kind of constructed that same way. They're kind of constructed that same way.
They've gotten better every year. Yeah.
Young head coach, young quarterback, good defense. So I'm just saying, I'm not shutting the door on it. I'm not, it wouldn't have been my first choice, but I get it.
The only thing I'm gonna say, there are two things that Arizona needs: a better line to block, and they need a better running back. If they can get an elite running back and a pretty good offensive line, they're gonna cause some problems. And
if they can find a way to get a GM who is not a go,
yeah,
then maybe.
Hey, look, man. Speaking of GMs, don't get me started on the Bears GMs. Oh my God, they're not paying nobody nothing.
Look. I'm tired of going on these rants. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again one more time. That is not a historically good organization that has been run by one family. They get away with it because they're in Chicago, the third media market, and there's a lot of people who like them, so they won't. No, if you really look at them, that is an awful organization.
Man,
they're living off of 2 years, 85, and 06.
Yes,
yeah,
and that's it.
Get you there.
That's it. Jim McMahon.
Brian Urlacher.
Yeah,
sweetness. 85 years.
Look, the Super Bowl shuffle and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
The Washington football team has a greater greater claim to fame than you do.
Yes, they do. 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 championships,
3 wins. Yeah,
3 wins. And then if you go back before Super Bowl, I think they got like 3 more titles. So It's like, no. And then the thing about it, the Super Bowl era is over 50 years. If you only participated twice, you're a bad organization. I mean, you're not Detroit, who's never been there, but you're not a good organization.
Yeah, man. I'm curious to see how this J.J. Watt thing gonna work out, man. I'm curious.
So let's take it to this draft, man. Let's take it to the draft. Draft's coming up. I think we're like 40. Are we 42 days or something?
April 27th, 28th or something like that.
I thought it was 29th.
It could be, yeah.
40 some odd days.
So we're like 30, a month away. Look, a little over a month away.
Yep. And so a lot of exciting prospects, a lot of not so exciting prospects, a lot of prospects being hyped up for no reason. But there's been a continuance of a troubling trend when it comes to quarterbacks and the way quarterbacks are evaluated. Why do we keep having to hear when we're talking about a Justin Fields, when we're talking about a Trey Lance, we're talking about quarterbacks of color?
Right.
Why is it that the first thing we hear from national media and the like are very athletic,
I know you were gonna say that.
dual threat, one read,
And the P word.
A project.
Yeah.
Project. Why is it why is it that we still gotta
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, why is it that we still why are we still doing this?
Because traditionally
Michael Vick messed it up for everybody.
The majority of the quarterbacks that got drafted were white quarterbacks. They want your black. Look, the athletic word comes out. Oh, he's really athletic. They weren't athletic. They couldn't run. They just stood in the pocket and passed the ball.
Let me see if I can pull up a scouting report.
Now, here's the thing.
Randall Cunningham.
And that was the norm back then. But just like I told you before, B, you got linebackers 215, 220 pounds. The game has changed. But I can see how some of those comments can come off as being like racist, project. But those other comments be athletic, strong arm. Oh, look at his mobility. A lot of critics consider those to be compliments. But for us, African Americans, we don't see it that way. To us, it's just normal. We're just playing the game.
Okay. Question. Trey Lance, North Dakota State.
Right.
Hearing about Trey Lance earlier in the process. Oh, they had a dominant running game. He fed off of a dominant running game at North Dakota State. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Trevor Lawrence not have Travis Etienne running behind him?
Oh yeah.
But we don't hear about how dominant Travis Etienne was at Clemson. I mean, we do, but not when scouting Trevor Lawrence. When we scout Trevor Lawrence, it's all about how smart he is, how he can make every read, how he can make every throw. And then the last thing you hear about Trevor Lawrence is his athleticism, his ability to move around in the pocket.
I don't know where you're going with this because Mac Jones didn't have a dominant running back when he had his glorious season. Oh wait, what's that guy's name? Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he didn't have that many. But you know what? He didn't have that many weapons to throw to.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
No.
He didn't.
No, he just had the Heisman Trophy winner and a guy who was considered better than him before he had that his ankle pop out.
Yeah, and then he had Ruggs the year before.
Oh, and another kid who's Judy. So last year he had 4 wide receivers who 2 of which that went in the top 10, so top 15. And this year he's going to have 2 wide receivers who are going in the top 10. But he's still really good and and didn't have any help. But Tua, I don't know how I can judge Tua because he has so much weapons.
Right, exactly.
Now, to be what you talking about Trey Lance, number one, Trey Lance went to like a Division II powerhouse, North Dakota State, which is known for having good talent throughout the years. I watch all college football down at the Division III University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, all of them. I had some dudes from St. Aug went up there and played. So Trey Lance went to an established program already in Division II that was already dominating. Number 2, about Travis Etienne, he wasn't highly drafted out of Louisiana. He wasn't. When he got to Clemson, he was more of a surprise because he didn't want to stay home to go to LSU because LSU tried to recruit him, but LSU didn't put their full force behind him. He felt the only team that was doing it was Clemson. So he went to Clemson. So and the thing is with Trevor Lawrence coming out of Georgia because of his height, He's like 6'6",
Mm-hmm.
typical quarterback. You know, he can see over the defense. I mean, see over the offense and throw the ball.
He looked like Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
All American. I ain't got to say no more. You know, but people like Trey Lance, Fields, those guys. What I guess we would call them hood legends, because they come out on the Pop Warner team, like in our area, they balling out. We know who they are. But some of the college scouts, when they do get to these schools, and the coaches be like, I don't know this guy. I didn't want this guy. But once they see the ability and how they can change the game and how defenses have to plan around this particular quarterback, they're like, oh, wow. And then that's when you start hearing the words, B. Oh, he's athletic. Oh, look at his arm. Look at the moves. Oh, wow.
But I think – go ahead, B.
No, I was just gonna ask. Did y'all watch Trey Lance's pro day?
No, I didn't see it.
I just saw the clips.
I haven't seen a kid throw a prettier,
he's good,
zippier ball, and I don't know when.
He's good.
Now, I'm gonna say this: pro days are designed to make you look good. Like, the only person who screwed up his pro day was Teddy B. He is the only one who screwed up his So everybody, they go over this stuff and they look good. So I don't really know, but it's not my job to know. What I do know is that when I see clips of individuals on TV who don't look like me judging these players, mind you, they're none of them are scouts. What they are just commentators who have access to a film room, because they're not getting paid by an organization. They're not putting in the notes and the work and then shoving it off to their boss, who's the personnel guy, who shoves it off to his boss, who is the GM who makes the decision. They're just people talking so they can get clicks.
And here's the thing, to your point, K-Man. That's what I was saying earlier. The game is changing now. The game is changing, even in college football. Because right now, they're looking for these young African-American kids that are coming out of high school, got an arm, like B. Wiggs said, Trey Lance, got an arm. The game is, like, in the last 2 to 3 years, the game has really changed. That's why Deion Sanders in the HBCU saying, look, we're going to put our games on Saturday and Sunday during this time so we can spotlight a lot of these kids that the big schools have overlooked. And when they start seeing the natural ability and talent, it's going to change. Now, just like I said, you just like Trey Lance is good, because I watched some of the North Dakota games. I said, the dude is smooth. He's good. But he went to a Division II powerhouse, but he wasn't heavily recruited.
I think he was only there for like a year, though.
It was like 2 years.
Okay.
I think it was 2 years.
Yep.
But he really wasn't heavily recruited.
But still more than Mitch. Mitch was never called a project. And Mitch is in Buffalo making $1.
But you have to look, where did Mitch come from?
North Carolina.
Exactly.
Not a football powerhouse at all.
But no, here's the thing. He was probably elite in that state.
No, there's no elite football school in the state of North Carolina.
But no, I'm saying stats-wise, K-Man. Stats-wise, because a lot of scouts, what they'll do, they'll pull up certain states and they'll look at stats. And they'll say, oh, wow, Mr. Trubisky, 6'4", 225. Okay, last season he passed for 4,700 yards. Wow, 30 touchdowns. Let me go check this guy out. Versus somebody like Trey Lance, that's like maybe 6'2", 6'3", didn't pass for as much, but he's more efficient. They're going to go to that, look at Mitchell Trubisky. Because I've heard scouts, couple of people I know work for LSU and other schools in the state of Louisiana. A lot of these scouts around the countries, they pull up stats and they see what name jumps out at them. And then they start looking at the size. Then once they see, okay, let me see what style of offense they're running, or let me see what style of defense they're playing. Will that fit our scheme? Is he fast enough? Is he big enough? Can he block the middle up? Is he a good cover guy?
I don't remember Carson Wentz getting all these project labels.
He went to North Carolina.
All these questions. He went to the same school.
But B, like I said, that school's already established powerhouse. So if he goes there and gets on the team, he's going to be like on local TV. And then when they come down to the division playoffs, he'll be on TV. Then everyone start pulling up his stats. And B, I'm gonna tell you, that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing.
All right, let me be Stephen A for 2 seconds. Let me make one thing clear. I got nothing against Trevor Lawrence. I got nothing against Zach Wilson. Both of them phenomenal QBs. I could even make a case for Zach Wilson being better than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I can.
But I want our African American quarterbacks coming out of college to get the same just due as all the other kids. I mean, it's that's all I want at the end of the day. I understand the competition may not be the same. You know, the circumstances may be a little different. But if you have an eye and you can watch film, you can see talent.
Yes, I believe so. And where I have a problem with this is not necessarily with the NFL side, because I believe 32 teams, 25 of them are really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the TV aspect of it. Because let's be 100% correct. 2018 draft. There were four quarterbacks that went in the top 10. Two of them look good. One looks, I don't really know because he was Adam Gase. And the other one, well, he's rich. But if he wasn't rich, he'd be selling insurance. And because of the organization that drafted him, because they're GM, the guy who went 32, who 2 years later became league MVP, should have been their quarterback. There are organizations like we've already said, historically bad Chicago, who should have had Deshaun Watson. Yeah. So once again, some of this stuff is just all TV, but there's certain organizations who are historically bad and have historically have the wrong people running decisions. And this is where, and so they listen to these clickbait artists, and then good kids lose money because of someone's opinion that day or their agenda.
I agree with you on that, man. And to your point, K, man, I get what you're saying about the marketing thing. And I'm going to just say it. They'll look at it and say, okay, Deshaun's a black kid. He won't be, nobody in Chicago will like him. Oh, but Mitchell Trubisky, he's the good All-American kid. Yeah, we can get people come to the game.
Trubisky sounds Polish.
Right.
And I get that.
Chicago, the most segregated city, one of the most segregated cities in the United States of America. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, and that's the messed up part. That's the messed up part. But that's why a lot of critics, using quotes, critics, say that African American quarterbacks come into the league with a chip on his shoulder. That he has to prove something.
Look, if you're gonna give one quarterback on this side a crutch, give that same crutch to the other quarterback.
Yeah, even playing
the same way you say Trey Lance had a dominant running game. Come over here and let everyone know how Trevor Lawrence had Dabo Swinney and Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
I mean, let's if we're giving out crutches, let's give crutches to everyone. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Let's let everyone know that Mac Jones, outside of everything that he had around him, had a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, probably the greatest college football coach of all time.
And then at the same time, in schools like that, man,
and a really good offensive coordinator, good offensive coordinator.
I'm gonna tell you, in schools like Alabama, they're gonna probably have the best of the best at almost every position. Yeah, they're a powerhouse, so they're gonna have the best of the best.
NFL light.
Yeah.
NFL, like,
That's the thing that gets me, man. And like I said, man, I think it's a race thing because for so many years it's traditional white quarterback, drop back, throw the football, drop back, read the defense. And I'm pretty sure some of the coaches say, "Why are you running? I didn't tell you to run. Stay in the pocket."
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But now the game has changed. And if you want to be successful, you have to have some kind of mobile quarterback. Because it doesn't make any sense for you to stay in the pocket when you can run 40 yards down the middle of the field. You better take off and run. Even if you run a 5.8 40, you better run up the field and get the yards. That's what I'm saying. The game is changing. And that's why I like Josh Allen, because Josh Allen will take off and run. He might run over you.
Josh Allen don't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. And I mean, that's both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yep. Because he could
just
be a
like,
cautionary tale of the first person we talked about, Cam Newton.
Look, just like everybody's banking on your boy in Philly to fail. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, because they're already talking about maybe drafting a quarterback there. Maybe
Exactly.
taking Justin Fields.
Exactly. Yep. Another one. See what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm like, at least give a guy 2 years in the offense and see what he can do.
I think if the Philly's in a good spot as far as the draft is concerned, because I feel like, I think Lawrence and Wilson they're going to go 1 and 2. Fields could possibly go 4.
Then Trey Lance.
Or Trey Lance could go 4.
Yeah.
If somebody like, say, a Carolina trades up with Atlanta, they trade up. If they trade up to 4, Philly's in an interesting spot because I think one of them will be there. One of those. I think four quarterbacks going in the top 10. I think.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So which one would you rather have, Fields or Lance?
Give me Trey Lance. Because look, like with my argument earlier about how they talk about the black QB. Look, nowhere did I say none of it wasn't true. Look, Justin Fields, very, very talented young man, put up ridiculous numbers. But he needs work in the area of scanning the field. Getting a little more zip on his throws, and just making better decisions overall.
All right, K-Man, who you going to take, K-Man?
I'm never going to take someone from Ohio State. Give me Trey Lance.
Oh, so let me ask you this then. Since both of y'all going to take him, don't you think the level of competition is different versus Division II and Division I? The level of competition that Trey Lance played against, it's not NFL light like B Week said, but Ohio State, they played against kind of NFL light teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but so for me, at the end of the day, if you can play football, you can play football.
Yeah, because the Big Ten, it has Penn State, it has Wisconsin, it has Michigan, it has Michigan State, but it also has Nebraska. It also has Illinois. I mean,
but listen, of those teams you just named,
Minnesota.
How many of those teams have players that you're legit afraid of? Or better yet, how many of those teams have players that teams are dying to have this draft? Outside of like a Kwity Paye, outside of a Michael Parsons.
Right.
Yeah.
But B, here's my whole reason around it. You said scouting the black athlete versus especially a quarterback. This is what scouts are going to look at, B. The level of competition they played against when they were in college.
That's why scouts suck. That's why NFL scouts are horrible.
But here's the thing about scouts though. Your scout, this is why some people stay scouts for like 30 years. Because there's some reason, take your boy Fontenot.
Yeah.
See how he moved up, because some scouts can really hit on stuff. And so that's why they have area scouts. They usually have 2 area scouts.
Exactly. Yep.
So, hey, if one person sees this, the other person might see this. I'm going to go with the person who I believe better. Now, the other person is really good at, I don't know, guards and D linemen and stuff like that. But the other person's better at everything else. It's your job as the regional scout and your job as the personnel guy and your job as a GM to also do your job too.
You know how you're gonna know how bad scouts are and how bad teams are in general at this whole draft thing? Pay attention to where Greg Rousseau goes.
Yeah,
let me go ahead.
I was gonna say, but he wasn't dominant when I watched him for Florida. So
let me preface what I'm getting ready to say by saying I have nothing against Greg Rousseau. It's not his fault that he's being touted up as the best edge rusher in this class. But the ones that keep projecting him to go even top 10, top 15, top 20, first round, they're lazy.
See, go ahead.
They're lazy. They're going on Google, pulling up stats, and they're going on YouTube and pulling up highlight reels. No. Leave the highlight films leave the highlight reels to stands and fans and people that don't know any better. When it's your job to scout a player, no, you need to go look at film. This guy had 15 and a half sacks, 2019. He opted out last year. He didn't play last year. He has one whole year of college ball. 15 and a half sacks. 4 of them came in one game. What was it against? Florida State? I think Florida State, he had 4 sacks in one game.
Florida State, how Florida State was with that in 2019? Florida got 2 sacks. 2 sacks.
They had arguably the 2 worst guards, left and right guards I have ever seen touch a football field. The majority of his sacks, the majority of those 15 and a half sacks in 2019 came when plays broke down. He beat no one one-on-one. No one. Stop being lazy, man. Stop being lazy. Like there's no reason. Like if you go look at these guys play. I'm off of Russo now. I'm on to these cornerbacks. You go look at these guys play. There is no reason at all that J.C. Horn shouldn't be mentioned in the same breath as Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain. No reason. Stop being lazy. Stop mocking Surtain us at 10.
Okay.
Stop it.
Once again, this clickbait stuff. This is not individuals employed by NFL teams. These are individuals trying to get the clicks because they got algorithms so they can sell stats, and that's all it is. That's why I don't believe any of this stuff. I don't care what Zerline has to say or Bucky Brooks or whoever the dude moved the sticks. Mel Kiper is old. Yes, he is the godfather, but he is a useless old man. Tom McShay, who was supposed to take his spot, is nothing. We have a network employs an individual who is famous when he played for running out of bounds and not knowing and keeping going for another 10 yards. This is what we have to work with as viewers of information. We get it from these lames. That's why I don't watch any of this stuff. I don't care. And then also these NFL teams, most of them don't care. The crappy ones will use them because maybe they don't have the money and the resources put into a proper scouting department. I mean, Lord knows the team, now the Washington Football Club, they used to do that crap.
Oh, like they're gonna keep that name, by the way, probably. But
That's just laziness.
I heard that.
but just like I was saying about the scouting, man, how they scout African American players differently from white players. It depends on, like I said, number one, it starts at the state level. They look at, like K-Man just said, they have these algorithms and these stats. Number two, when they get to the college level, they look at the level of competition they played against. Now, you might hear some people say, well, look, yeah, okay, he can read a defense pretty good. But, and to K-Man's point, once it comes down to draft time, they look at, can he put people in the seats? That's what the owners want. Will people come out to see him play?
Mm-hmm.
Will he help us win the championship? That's second. First is, will people come out to see him play, and can we, raise the prices on the hot dogs and the beer? It's about being marketable in a particular market. Now, my thing is, all of us are African American, and we had a team. Would you just tell your GM to select the black guy versus the white guy who's good, that'll put people in the seats that'll make you more money?
If I got any South Park fans out there, if you remember the Michael Jackson episode, he would say, "No, that's ignorant. That's ignorant. No, no, of course not.
No,
look. As small of a platform as we have here on this podcast, I like to use my voice for those who may not be able to say what I can say. And so that's my whole thing. That in no way makes me more pro black players than I am white players. No, I'm pro football. I love football. I love good football players. I love good football players. But if God, I'm gonna try not to sound racist here. If Ryan is a better quarterback than Tre'Davious, then I'm gonna go with Ryan.
Okay. That's Ryan with a Y, because Ryan with an I, he might be one of us.
Okay. Hey man, do you all know there's a player? I think he's from Louisiana. His first name is the Coldest.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
But B, I understand what you're saying, and B, that's a different part of it. Just like I was saying, a lot of these scouts pull up stats and they see names. They already got an idea when they see somebody named Tre'Davious.
Yeah.
K1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And look, if I was an owner, all I want is to win, so I can charge these yokels as much as I want. That's all. I want to be. What's the owner of the Patriots?
Yeah, America.
I want to be. I want to be Robert Kraft. I want to go somewhere in Boston where all the guys are sitting there and throwing out N-words at any black person to walk past them, and say to Colin or Connor or Patrick, I want to say to you, I want to say to you, hey, you want to come see a game next year? Yeah, 20% markup, fool.
Hey,
all I do is win. Where are you gonna go? The Celtics? Come on,
America. So K-Man is our resident general manager, entrepreneur. So
if all you want to do is win, because if I win, I get to charge more money and I can get my Scrooge McDuck on. That's all it's about. If your objective is to hamper your team based on color, sell the team. Because yes, you can be the what is it? You could be the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't spend any money, and you're getting all that money. But I also want to be. I want to be Robert Kraft. I want to be. I'm not going to say Jerry Jones because he don't know how to win. But I want to be somebody who wins. You know,
minus the massage parlors.
Yes. Or yes, minus the massage parlor. Or mine's getting punked by Putin in Russia and getting one of your rings taken away from you.
Oh, hold on, man. Hold on. We got two dynamics right here. We got B Wiggs saying, I love the game. Yes, the game. Then we got K Man. Now I'm a general manager. Paid. I'm gonna get paid. We got two aspects here.
Yes. General manager, him, he, general manager, me, coach. We've been here before. We've been down this road before.
I'm the one that's going to NBC and say, you have nothing to offer America as far as viewing. I want $4 billion a year for my product that you get 17 weeks a year. That makes you the highest rated program every year. Oh, you don't want to pay me that? Oh, that's cool. There's this company called Disney. They own ABC. They're willing to take I'm willing to take their money.
So look, man, we're gonna go on the next. What we talking about next, B? But I'm gonna say this.
Y'all draft. We all draft at this point.
Look, y'all just proved the point that green rules the world. Okay, let's go.
Yep. But yeah, man.
That's why none of these owners and general managers give a damn what those lame scouts say. They're about making money. They're about making money. And in fact, the better players I have, and the more I can charge. The Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s were a great team, but they also had players. One of the reasons why they stink now consistently for the last 20 years, because they don't have the amount of good players that they had before. Same thing with the 49ers. Now, the 49ers are different because they were pre-salary cap era, but that's all it is.
Yeah.
Your main objective is, as an owner, is to make money. The way to make money is to get great employees. And then their great employees give me a great product.
Hey, K-Man, what business school you went to, K-Man?
The school of hard knocks, my brother.
Exactly. From Northwest DC. That's all.
Oh man. All right.
It's all it is. And so, yes, a lot of going back to a lot of the individuals did see color and they just like automatically, oh, I'm not doing it. But do you see the good ones? Mm-hmm. You see Baltimore, KR, and then all of a sudden they got their guy. And now when you go to a Ravens game, who's on that ticket? Lamar Jackson. And you go to Kansas City. Kansas City is one of the meth capitals of the world, but those meth heads are paying money for those tickets that had Patrick Mahomes' face on it. I'm sorry, I had to take a shot. I don't like them.
B, to your point, y'all got that Prescott, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And when we talk about Green Bay, stupid. Yeah, who's gonna sell more tickets than Aaron Rodgers? Bryce Love? Come on now.
Exactly.
Tom Brady went down to Tampa. Tampa Bay is a swamp of humidity and heroin. I'm shooting everybody today. I'm back.
You get a shot. And you get a shot. You get a shot.
And it's not that COVID shot. It's that.
A shot of what?
Scratchy noise.
Scratchy noise.
Oh, man.
Tyrone Biggums.
Oh, man. I'm glad we're not live because we might get demonetized.
All right, what we got with the draft, man? I pulled up. I went to USA Today, man. I just pulled up Saints draft. Why they got us picking Kyle Trask in the first round?
That's lazy.
That's so lazy.
Lazy.
That's so lazy.
Lazy. Look,
but we go into free agency now. The free agency period is essentially over with because there were no money. So how do you think your teams did in free agency? And how does that affect your team going forward in the draft?
Hey man, look, I'm just happy we got under the cap. we pulled off some incredible stuff to get under the cap.
You ain't lying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm happy
real.
about.
Yeah, because that was
We
looking
were dead last.
that was looking rough for y'all, man.
Yeah.
If I had to give us a grade, if I had to give the Cowboys a grade for free agency, I would give us a C+. I feel like we could have done more in the defensive secondary, particularly cornerback. I feel like we could have made a move there. We have a few more contracts we can flip, we can restructure to get more space under the cap. I feel like we could have gone out and gotten like a Kyle Fuller or a Adoree Jackson. Not the money that he got from the Giants, but with a more reasonable deal. I say that because I don't want us to be pigeonholed when it comes to the draft. We get there at 10 and boom, we got to take a cornerback because we didn't help ourselves there in free agency. Shout out to Jeff Kavanaugh. He's a guy, radio guy out of Dallas, 105.3 The Fan. But I follow him on YouTube. I follow him on Twitter and YouTube. And he always says that you feel needs in free agency. Mm-hmm. You get the best players in the draft. That should be the model of every good team. And so, can we go into the season with our corners the way they are now as currently constructed? Sure. But why would we want to do that? So, I felt like we could have did more. I do like the Keanu Neal signing. I love that signing. It gives us something that we haven't had since Roy Williams left. Safety Roy Williams, not wide receiver. Safety Roy Williams, since he left, and that's presence. Nobody's really been afraid to go across the middle of our defense since Roy. I feel like we have that now in Keanu Neal. He's going to play linebacker, weak side linebacker, in base packages. Sideline to sideline dude. He's good in the run. That was our biggest Achilles heel from last season on defense, was stopping the run. So yeah, and the defensive line, that I like Terrell Basham. He was cool for the Jets. Brent Urban, he's good against the run. So overall, we did okay. We could have done better, hence the C+ grade. What about you, Kennedy?
Unlike you, I like to give my team an A. First-time GM and George Payton, individual who's been sought after in the GM job for a long time. I actually did not believe they were going to get him because why would you come to a team that got no owner?
Yeah.
But and he's done a great job in the exact way that you feel the Cowboys didn't do for you. One of the needs was going in. We need a corner. Well, we got Fuller. Because he wanted to play. Chicago, yeah. Because he wanted to play for Vic Fangio. So the minute he was cut, supposedly, he was already in Denver.
He had no choice, man.
And so once he got cut, he was just like, all right, let's sign a deal. And we got Ronald Darby. So that frees us up on the cornerback. So we're not pigeonholed to get a corner. And then we cut Kareem Jackson, but then we bring him back at half the money. They give Shelby Harris, who I'm not a big fan of, but they gave him money, and they kept Von Miller. So, and then they also finally gave Justin Simmons his money. So from the defensive standpoint, which a lot of people thought was going to be a lot of our needs, we don't need that now. So we can be in the, hey, a quarterback's dropping.
Y'all need a running back. Y'all lost Phillip Lindsay.
Yeah, okay. Hey, look, let me say something about Phillip Lindsay. He is a really hardworking guy. he got a lot of heart, and he was a locker room leader. But at the end of the day, it is a sport that relies on bodies, and he is 5'8", 180. He cannot catch, and he cannot pass block. He was a liability. He can only run inside. He can, even as quick as he is, he can't even bounce outside. He was a liability, and then he wanted $3 million. No.
Dang, K-Man, I thought he said he was a good employee. Now he a liability.
If I put you in, and the defense knows what I'm going to do, you're a liability. It's a chess match.
I give you that. Yeah. You're right.
I like what they did because it gives them so much flexibility going into the draft. And somehow, some way, I don't know how they did this, but they still got $20 some odd million under the cap. Maybe if certain individuals' law cases or lawsuits are not come to fruition, maybe he comes available. I don't know.
Well, where it is, there's still a market for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
what he did was dumb, but
I don't know. We don't know what he did because all these are civil actions. None of them are criminal.
Yeah. I feel like, Kennedy, for y'all with Lindsey leaving, I feel like either that second round pick at 40 or the third round pick at 71, I think is a prime position for y'all to get a running back.
Yep.
Either one of the North Carolina guys. I don't think Najee Harris will be there in the second round.
No, he's not going to be
there. I'm not a fan of drafting running backs really in the first round because I feel like you can get them anywhere just about. But I feel like either one of the North Carolina dudes, Michael Carter or Javonte Williams.
Yeah,
preferably Javonte Williams. I like him better. Will be an excellent choice.
And I would, and to your point, B, in this particular draft, you can get a running back at almost anywhere based on the running backs in this draft. Mm-hmm. You know, there were certain draft classes that were kind of light on running backs, heavy on like defensive linemen or heavy on offensive linemen. But this particular draft, yeah, you're right. Like this particular draft got quite a few wide receivers that were really good.
Yeah, it's like this year's draft is not the draft last year was for running backs and wide receivers, but it's a really good draft. It's still a strong draft.
Yeah, there's more talent to be had in the later rounds. Like you'll still see like, you know, difference makers going in the fourth and the fifth rounds, you know, at running back, at wide receiver, because it's just there's a lot of good guys. Mm-hmm. There's a handful of elites, couple of greats, and a bunch of goods.
Yeah, a lot of them going to be going in the third and fourth round.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you, and my reasoning behind that, man, is because of the COVID. A lot of these guys the previous year were like standout players. Some of these kids opted out, saying, "Hey, look, I don't think it's safe to be playing." So, like you said, B, a lot of them have to go back to the previous year's film and look at film. You know, but they're going to be a lot of good guys in the third and fourth round of this draft, man. Watch.
I want to know, Sean, how do you feel about your team? Because I think your team is in a weird position where it's been for the last 5 years always a contender. Now with some losses, you're in a little weird spot. You're not like Carolina or Atlanta where you're like throwing water on that dumpster fire, but you're not on that level. And here's my thing. What happened, the Super Bowl champ was a fluke, plain and simple. They're not repeating. But I still believe that they probably are the number one team in that division.
Yep.
I don't believe by a lot though. So
exactly. And I agree with you.
How are the Saints going about it?
Well, man, from what I heard, they're looking to get either another corner or safety. and hopefully one of these with the first round pick. But it was this one website I was on a day earlier, man. We have a lot of late round draft picks. And according to this one guy that's in Baton Rouge, I can't think of the guy's name. I see his face on Twitter. They're saying that Sean Payton and Loomis are looking at guys in round 4 and 5. And when I thought about it, I'm like, why are they looking for guys around 4 or 5? Shouldn't we try to like trade up and get some? But we don't have any money.
Yeah.
We don't have any players they want to give up. That's why they gave Jameis that contract. But one of the guys earlier today on Twitter said, yeah, if you know Sean Payton's MO, he has a quarterback in mind that no one that's this particular quarterback, he didn't say the name, but this quarterback is flying under the radar. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what quarterback can be flying under the radar that'll fit Sean Payton's system? But then again, I thought about it. Looks like any quarterback can almost fit Sean Payton's system because we pull up when Drew didn't start, we were undefeated.
I will say this. Before Fuller got cut, I heard that there were rumblings that the Denver Broncos were willing to offer a second, even maybe a number 1 for Lattimore.
That I did hear. I heard, I didn't know it was Denver, but I heard there were a couple of teams willing to do that. And when I heard it, I was like, man, because people on Twitter was like, they heard it and it was like, man, I hope we don't do that. I hope we don't do that. Because they were talking about the guy, JC, then they were talking about the other safety, Mooring. And I was like, I said, either one of them will work. Yeah, okay. I said, that'll work. In case we do lose Lattimore, I said, that'll work. But they're, just like I said, I looked at the one on USA today. They got us taking Kyle Trask from Florida. I watched Kyle Trask, man, play. He has a good arm. He can read the defenses. But my thing is his mobility. In our division, you got Tampa Bay that's got pretty good rushers. Mm-hmm. If he can't get out of the way of that stuff, man, we won't beat Tampa Bay.
Right.
And we need another running back opposite Alvin Kamara.
Oh my God, yes.
Murray's good from the 20 in between the tackles. Anything other than that, Latavius Murray's not going to outrun nobody. No.
I had two players, two of my favorite picks for y'all at 28. One of them was Richie Grant, safety from UCF, free safety from UCF, and Najee Harris from Alabama.
If we get Harris, yeah.
Now, you mentioned y'all looking at players in the 4th and 5th round, like maybe that's where Sean is Sean Payton is targeting quarterback. Two names you should keep a lookout on: Felipe Franks from Arkansas.
I forgot about him.
And Davis Mills from Stanford.
I didn't see too much of Davis Mills. I seen Felipe Franks. I mean, Felipe Franks was at Florida before.
Yeah, he was. He's a transfer.
Yeah.
Two dudes who are not gonna go early. But I mean, I looked into him a little bit, and Felipe can ball.
Yeah, he can.
Felipe can ball.
He got an arm on him. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if those two were among the targets that Sean Payton's looking at.
Yeah, because I was when I heard, I'm like, why is he looking in the 4th or 5th round? But I think that's where they got like Taysom Hill or something like that. Like 3rd or 4th round, they got Taysom Hill. And I'm like, you know what? They might be on to something because I had never heard of Taysom Hill. I'm like, who is this?
And also, let's be for real. Jameis Winston has all the talent in the world. He just needs maturing. Maybe this year with Sean Payton and Drew Brees, maybe he got real maturing because he had Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I can't look up to Ryan Fitzpatrick. No offense, but I can look up to Drew Brees. I can look up to Sean Payton.
And K-Man, those were some more rumblings that I heard from some of my family. That's the consensus, is that Winston had a year to sit back and see how Drew works out, to learn the Saints' game plan. And they say he has the arm to make all the throws. So I was like, okay, maybe they might be on to something if he understands the offense the way Drew did. But the only thing that scares me is that I don't see Winston, calling 2 plays in the huddle, coming up to the line. We know we can't go with that. Let's go with another one. Mm-hmm. Then Drew Brees knew the offense so well. If he called those 2 plays, he didn't like those, he can call a 3rd play.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's why I don't see y'all taking a quarterback in the first round. Because you've got a decent quarterback, and I mean you have insurance there. Yeah. So, although he's on a 1-year deal, I don't think this is the year. Well, y'all may take a quarterback in this draft, but I don't think this is the year that y'all target one early. I don't think it's a good move personally. Because you could at 28, I would say maybe safety, cornerback, 1A, 1B.
Exactly.
Running back.
That's next, yeah.
Yeah, so y'all probably could get, somebody. J.C. Horn's not gonna fall that far. I hope he doesn't fall past 10, to be honest. But y'all could, you got Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. You got Greg Newsome from Northwestern. So I think y'all will be all right. I don't think y'all gonna do anything stupid.
I don't think we will. And I'm thinking about the last 3 to 4 years. We've always drafted an offensive lineman, a pretty decent offensive lineman.
Yep.
And we've always kind of like got a second round safety or something like that, or a corner. So I said, okay. And what used to frustrate me about this thing is that they would never try to move up to get one of the elite quarterbacks. I'm like, man, and I'm like, Drew's getting old. I'm like, come on, he probably got 2-3 years. We need somebody to sit in that offense, understand it for 2 to 3 years, then let him get a run at it. But they never did it.
I think this is the year y'all go for a running back because you have that offensive line. So you just get a compliment for Kamara because you didn't have that since what's the name left?
Ingram.
Ingram left. And that was your best year because y'all had that compliment. And what is a quarterback's best friend is an offensive lineman and a running game. And if you can get that, your defense is still good. And you can add on pieces to it. So, I think I don't know if you're going to go. I mean, it's number 28, so I don't really know, but,
But the consensus is everybody's looking at like either a safety or a corner.
Yeah.
All right. So, you ready to wrap it up? Yeah. Give me your ideal scenario for your team's first round pick.
For me, it would be a running back. Like I say, Najee Harris, and then second round, look at a safety, possibly a quarterback if there's a good quarterback in the second round.
So would you be willing to trade up for somebody like Trevon Moehrig?
No.
Who many believe is the best free safety in the class?
No, because we gotta, and that's something we need to. Our free safety plays decent when they don't overplay, because our defense was the Saints' defense last year was in the top 5. I think it was like number 1 or 2 against the run, and like number 4 or 5 overall. So I think we're good there, man. I think we need to get a better running game because to me, Kamara is not an every down back, and I think that's what happened to him. He was trying to run. He's not a between the tackles guy. He's more of a slasher, like to the outside. Give him a toss play, he can cut and hit up the field. Yeah. But if we can get somebody like Najee Harris, man, a good decent back, or one of the guys from North Carolina, man. Part of that
Kamara being great in the passing game retired with Drew Brees.
Exactly.
Because Drew Brees could hit him in places where Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill can't.
Right.
Drew Brees would option him on a wheel route or put him on a hot route or something out of the slot. Those are Drew Brees things. Not saying that Jameis Winston can't do it, but that aspect, I think you're not going to see as much of that.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, We went 12-4 last year, 12-4. Then the previous year we went 13-3. I'm like, man, anytime you have a franchise that consistently wins 11 to 14 games a season, man, what's missing?
Right. Kennedy, Broncos at 9.
Okay, so if we pick at 9, because what I would want is them to trade back and get another first round for next year. And I would like to take the youngin out of Notre Dame at middle linebacker. Because I think one of the issues the defense has is our middle linebackers.
Yeah.
And they are not fast. Yeah. But 9 is too high. And right. Micah Parsons got character issues. And one of the things that Elway has instilled and probably told Peyton is like, since 2018, we are not we are, our drafts are team leaders, captains, 3 years and stuff like that. So we want to get out of that era of knuckleheads.
Yeah. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So do you think he could play middle? Because he's really like he's kind of like that hybrid kind of player that the league is going towards.
Yeah.
Who kind of alternates between like strong safety and weak, like Keanu O'Neal. Yeah. Like, can play that box role, just roam the box.
I think you can if you put him right next to Alexander Johnson, a really big middle linebacker, right, like at 6'3". Right. And I think because we're in a division with Travis Kelce and what's the dude from the Oakland Darren Waller. Darren Waller. I mean,
he can, K-Man. Yeah. He can, because I watched Notre Dame games, and he's a rangy linebacker. He's fast. He's not big, but he's fast and he's quick, man. He can get to them holes and fill up them holes, or if someone misses a tackle, he'll be there because he's a damn good defender, man. When I watch Notre Dame play, man.
My favorite.
And if we stay at 9, then if Lance or a Fields drop down, let's get one of them.
Probably my favorite trait for Owusu-Koramoah is his ability to cover.
Yeah.
Dude can cover anybody.
That's what I was talking about, how quick he is.
And that's what we really need. We got thumpers, but our issue is covering. That's always been our issue.
Yeah.
Well,
so what about you, B?
If we were to stay at 10, which I don't want us to do. If we were to stay at 10 and Slater is there, I think the pick has to be Slater. Tyron Smith is never going to play 16 games again.
No.
You can pencil him in to miss, 4, 5, 6 games a year. Go ahead, get Slater. Immediately put him in at left guard to replace Connor Williams because he's still not strong enough. Make Connor Williams your backup right tackle. Put Slater in at left guard. Go rock out. Then when Tyron Smith goes out of the game with God knows whatever, when he says ouch, slide Slater over to left tackle, put Connor Williams back, boom, you don't lose a beat. You don't miss a beat.
I want y'all to pick Surtain, man, because y'all have 2 Alabama corners, 2 lockdown corners, dude.
Let me ask you this. Why Surtain over Horn?
I didn't see too much of Horn, but I saw a ton of Surtain. And when I watched him play against the top talent in the SEC, dude can cover. It seems like he's beat on some plays and he recovers.
Here's my thing with Surtain.
He wasn't throwing a lot to.
Yeah,
exactly.
That, and you heard a lot before his pro day yesterday. You heard a lot about him not having the top end speed.
Yeah.
Some teams will see that 4.43, whatever he ran, 4.42, 4.43 time, and say, yeah, he can run. The problem with that is you don't see that on film.
Yeah.
You don't see 4-4-3 on film. Now, you can go back and look at LSU games. Jamar Chase ate him alive. Jamar Chase ate everyone alive.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be mad. Let me put it like this. I wouldn't be mad if Surtain was to pick at 10. I wouldn't be mad. I just would prefer JC Horn because I believe although Surtain has the pedigree of his dad, Horn has the pedigree of his dad. And he's a dog. Yeah. I think he fits the philosophy that Dan Quinn is trying to instill in Dallas. With these having these grown men, these enforcers on defense. JC Horn is not going to back down from anybody. He's not going to play just one side of the field. He's going to take your best receiver and go with him the whole game. Is he going to grab him a little bit? Yes. Is he going to get called for defensive holding for a bunch of times his first year? Yes.
I've seen that on film.
Because he's Tuggy McTiggerton. Like they got wherever he goes, they got to teach him to keep his hands to himself.
Yeah.
But as far as just being able to cover, not being afraid to compete at the line of scrimmage, to get his hands on dudes, Horn is my top. He's my top corner. He's my top corner. I would not be mad with Surtain though. But that's if we pick at 10. My ideal thing for us is to go somewhere between 12 at San Fran or 16 with Arizona or 17 with Vegas. I want us to accumulate maybe another second and another third. Take Horn or Slater at that pick. Use what we just got to get back into the top of the first order, the back of the first round, and get Richie Grant. That'll give us.
Let me ask you this, B. So, what's more of a priority for your team? What you think? Offensive line or the defense?
I got an answer, but I'll let him go.
The priority is taking the best player.
Okay.
That's my priority. Listen, drafting a cornerback at 10 or wherever, it's not going to fix our defense. Our problem with our defense was we were almost dead last, if not dead last, at defending the run. Teams didn't have to throw on us. They didn't have to. But when they did, they were successful because we couldn't stop the run. So that's why I'm not dead set on unlike these 3 and 4 letter networks who lazily keep mocking cornerbacks to us. Yeah, it would be nice. I wouldn't be upset, but that's not going to fix our defense.
Man, we're going to wrap up. What you got, K-Man? What you going?
They need to protect Dakota Rain.
Exactly. Exactly.
I done dropped so much money on this dude.
Yeah.
I need to protect him.
Exactly.
But they had to, K-Man. That's what the market dictated. They had to do it.
Yeah, I'm tired of he don't deserve it. He doesn't, whatever. Look, that's gonna look like EBT money by the time during these next years when the cap keeps going up.
2 years, right?
The next years when the cap goes up, that's gonna be chump change.
Yeah, because Josh Allen and Baker are about to get their pay, and so is Lamar Jackson in like 2 years, less than 2 years. So
stop with all the he don't deserve it. Stop it.
Yeah. Like Justin Simmons got $15 million a year. Or $15.2 million a year. Justin Simmons is really good safety. He ain't the best safety in the league. It's just okay.
He's pretty close.
I mean, he is pretty close. It's not the way the NFL works as far as money. It's the person who gets the most money is never like usually the best player. It's not like the NBA, and it's definitely not like baseball. Yeah. It's definitely not like baseball.
But you need a good cap man to stretch those deals out.
But also that shows you the weakness of the NFL because baseball and the NBA, you get your full money while you gotta constantly, keep going over the next person because my money is funny. Yeah.
All right, man.
So we doing parting shots?
Man, my parting shot, man. Look, my parting shot, man. My parting shot goes out to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, man, they don't respect you, man. They just toying with you. If I was you, come back next year, take him to the Super Bowl and win that joint and say, pay me.
Not gonna happen, but sounds good. My parting shot is thank you, Rob Pelinka, for not trading for Kyle Lowry. Thank you. Dude is what, 35, turning 35?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we got one of the best up and coming former second round picks in Taylor Horton Tucker. Dude is going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's pretty good
next year. I don't know if we're going to be able to pay him what some team is going to offer him on the open market, but wherever he goes, dude is going to be a problem. Seeing that, I would have liked to, maybe flipped him for at least something, because we don't have a lot in the way of draft capital because of, the Anthony Davis trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad he didn't give and trade for Kyle Lowry. Look, Lakers Nation, Lakers fan, we'll be fine. Look, it's going to be ugly for the next month or so. It's going to be ugly.
It was ugly against my Pelicans.
Don't focus on the draft position. I mean the playoff position. Just focus on making the playoffs. We'll be fine.
Look, ain't nothing ugly than come on, Houston Rockets. But
20 games.
We're beyond that. We're beyond that. I got two parting shots. They don't have nothing to do with sports. First parting shot. Kirk Franklin's son.
Oh man.
You recorded your daddy? Yo, daddy? And he wasn't even doing that.
That's some deep issues that go back years there, kid, man.
Yep.
He ain't gonna live forever. Look, you gonna inherit the money, the house,
we don't know
his hair plugs. Come on now. What are you doing?
He might not be in the will, man.
And for all those people
definitely not in the will.
And for all those people who are like, oh, I don't know if I could buy Kirk Franklin because he was cussing at. Look, then you're not a parent, because he did something way wrong. And if we all are someone's child and we did something wrong at one point in time and we got words or the business. See, that's my problem with all these self-righteous fake Christians. You act as though you never needed God's grace when you messed up. When you curse somebody out, because you did it. You go to church and put your fancy dress on and your big hat and make everybody think you don't, but you did it. You think about cussing people out in the eyes of God. That's even worse than actually doing it, because you thought about doing it. So don't all these self-righteous people, man, miss me with that. Miss me with that. And you don't know what's going on in this household.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, this is his child. You
Exactly.
don't know what problems he's caused them or arguments they've had over the many years he's been on this earth.
And here's my point, man. My point about that whole thing, me and Lil Sean talk about it. I'm a Christian. We're Christians. And the stigma is that we're the biggest judgmental people in the world. We judge everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about everybody. Oh, how you gonna? That's one thing I try, me and Sean, I say, man, I don't judge anybody. If they do it, they do it. That's not between me, it's between them and the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
exactly.
That's who they gotta deal with.
Exactly.
And I judge no one because I know the stuff I did.
Right. Exactly. It's not my job to say whether or not you going to hell. That's not my decision.
And I'm not going to take the side of someone who's recording their parents. Some things need to be private. Not everything needs to be for everyone's consumption just because their father or mother or someone is famous.
100%.
But here's the thing about that, K-Man. Here's the thing about that. What his son was trying to do, his son was like, wanted to be evil and try to get back at his father because of his father's image. So he said, let me show the world that he's not this holier than thou person. Let me just let everyone hear him curse.
We all know he's not holier than thou. He got an addiction problem to the websites. I'm going to let it go there. And then second of all, let's be 100%. I'm going to be 100% on. I ain't even that big a fan of Kurt Franklin. He don't really sing. He don't pay none of his people.
He's the hype man.
P. Diddy of gospel.
No. He DJ Khaled of gospel.
Well, I ain't really heard of DJ Khaled people like that, but
I don't know. Yeah. Coming up the family, people still him and Salt. That was the only people who got paid.
Another one.
And my second part shot, hey, Team Jackson, what's up?
Who'd you say? Wait.
I said, hey, Team Jackson, what's up?
Oh.
Yeah. Believing a dude driving in his car, giving out narcissistic advice. And then you come to find out this is doing stuff narcissistic.
Man, look, that's
all I had. That's all I gotta say.
Listen.
You gonna
listen? Just like we just got through saying.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna judge
nobody.
I'm not gonna call his wife stupid. I'm not gonna say she's dumb. I'm not
judging them.
I'm not gonna say she's naive. Y'all see what I'm going to say? I'm not gonna say it. Even though I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna say that you just gonna come out there looking like you going to CVS. First of all, no one's ever seen you a day in your life, and you allow him to come out like you going to on Saturday morning to get some pancake.
But she, not only him, she had on the KFC special with the silk cloth with the satin cloth.
Yeah.
And did you see how he was squeezing her hand the whole time throughout that joint?
Yeah. Now I don't know what happened off camera.
A ton of surgeries.
Look, man, listen, we could stay on issues of society all year.
Because I love a hustler, because a hustler takes advantage of the stupid. So I'm talking to those who bought the books, who subscribed, who liked, yeah, girl, yeah. He is so right. And he's driving in his Dodge Dart. I don't know what he got.
He got paid though, man. Just off that stuff for years, man.
Yeah.
But
I don't want us to treat him. Let's not treat him any differently than we treated Steve Harvey after his 3 or 4 failed marriages, but he was the relationship expert.
I treat him the same way. And the reason why I find it funny is that certain individuals believe that for some reason, if a man out there craps on men to validate your issues with, or if a woman craps on women to validate your issues against women, that you fall for this. It's a hustle.
Yeah.
When you speak in absolutes, this person does this, and yeah, once again, as the Jedi said, we don't believe in absolutes. That is a Sith move.
Man, there's something wrong with y'all, man.
Dude, as we started the show, it's been 2 months. I gotta get it out.
Oh man.
Y'all some wild dudes, man.
Yep.
All right, people.
It's been real, bro.
Yeah. This was a good release.
Yeah.
So
might be a few
Next month?
Few weeks, might see us again around draft time, NFL draft time. So
you know what? Didn't we do one live last time during the draft?
Yeah, no, first round. We
well, I mean, it was live. It was live to us,
but we didn't record it.
Yeah, we didn't record it,
and we couldn't have recorded it because
man,
as Brandon said, we'd have lost some monetary stuff.
Man, K-Man, you had me dying when that dude
demonetized.
Man, and K-Man said, "That's my uncle. That's it now. Look at
it." That's another thing I'm mad at. I got a partner shot. The NFL, last year was awesome. So it was we got to see the players in their own homes with their families. That was so cool. And now you're gonna bring it back in Cleveland. And no, I ain't got a problem with Cleveland. It's just like we still in COVID, and last year was so good. I wish we were.
Yeah. That's a good point, K-Man. Yeah.
All
right, people.
All right, man. Till next time.
Till next time. It'll probably be draft time.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right.
Holla at you.
Good night, America.
Deuces.
Peace.
See ya.
See ya.